That's right. I don't want to do this, but the circumstances warrant it. I don't want to do this show. We love independence, but at what cost? Edition of the Always Irish Show. This one hurts me. Thanks for being here. I'm happy to be here. As always, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. It helps me in the algorithm. Appreciate that as well. Notifications on. You and I both know why. That way you're alerted every time a new episode drops. You don't want to miss it. Twitter, search bar, Always Irish Rat. Always Irish Hank. Emails, alwaysirishhandy@gmail.com. Audio only anywhere you want me. You can locate me. The call-in lines. 312-988-15. You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Fighting Irish Wire. Booty doot doot. Type them words in the computer box. Notre Dame stories come out. It's amazing. All right. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to have you here. This is an important topic with some really tough questions that I think Notre Dame fans and the administration are facing right now. Okay? I started this show by saying it. I don't even like going down this path. I don't like having the discussion. I don't like it, but it's my responsibility to do it. So here's where we're going to start. If you're following college football and all this conference realignment stuff, you will know the ACC's having major issues. They're locked in a TV deal for 13 more years with no way out of it, it seems like. And the numbers are like where I was worried Notre Dame was going to be, saying you can't be 40, 50 million behind per year of the Big Ten and the SEC payouts. That's what they're looking at, though. They're looking at between 30 and 40 million a year per team, and we're looking at 90 or above for the Big Ten or the SEC, or somewhere in that ballpark. And when they signed this deal, it looked like a great deal. But everything in life's inflated and whatever, so ESPN has them locked up for 13 more years for like half the money everybody else is looking to get if you're in the Big Ten or the SEC, which are the two power players in college football media right now. So none of those ACC schools are happy. Half of them are looking at how do we get out of here. I think it's $120 million buyout to leave the conference and find a new home. You might end up with somebody saying that's worth it. We'll make that up in a few years. Within a handful of years in a new conference, we'll be fine. I don't know. But their problem is a lot more connected to Notre Dame than many people think and realize. And you got to look at all sports. It isn't just football. That gets lost in this too. And I could be accused of that because I focus on the football, but you got to look at all, the home for all these sports. I have been told Notre Dame's administration's been meeting this week about contingency plans of if one thing happens with the ACC, here's Notre Dame's options. If something else happens, here's the option. But I don't feel like I initially gave this enough attention to being intimately connected to Notre Dame's future with that ACC deal. But I've been told it's so real, Notre Dame's been meeting about it all week. If the ACC should disband or fold or the top 6 or 7 teams look for other homes, which is being rumored, then Notre Dame might feel like they have to join the Big Ten because all their sports are ACC members except for a couple. I think, men's hockey or something. But most of the other sports are either fully in the ACC or partially like we are with football. I think they're all full-time except for us, partial in football. If they disband, all those other Notre Dame sports are going to have a home. Notre Dame might feel like they have to join the Big Ten for that reason alone. For all sports to have a home and money, that might be what has to happen. Now, if that had to happen, would the Big Ten allow Notre Dame to do what the ACC did? Take all their other programs in, allow Notre Dame to operate as a quasi-partial member of the Big Ten just for football? I got a feeling the Big Ten isn't going to be so keen to offer that to Notre Dame. And they're going to say, listen, we know you're in a bad spot. The ACC folded. Where are your teams going to go? Where's the leverage there? Right? So I would doubt very strongly they're going to let Notre Dame do the half foot in the water, 1 foot out deal. So that's on the table. Here's the other angle. I've been reading about a possibility to redo some of this TV money in terms of the redistribution payouts from the ACC. If they restructure how they pay out the money, that could also put a kink in Notre Dame's deal with them and all that. And Notre Dame might have to ask for more guaranteed revenue from their next TV partner to make up for what would end up being the better teams that draw the eyeballs in the ACC are going to make way more money, and the lower level teams, I think you're sending them to their grave. I honestly do. If you start saying, "Oh, Clemson, Florida State, Miami, you're the big everybody got the eyeballs on you in our conference," and the bottom teams get way less, you're pretty much burying them forever. So the ACC has options. None of them are good. All of them have major drawbacks. Like, obviously, disbanding the whole conference, sending it to its grave. But if they do that TV payout restructure, I got a feeling you're sending the bottom half of the teams in your conference to a grave over time because they're not going to be able to keep up with the money. So that's dangerous when you kind of start playing favorites with your own teams, pushing one up but killing another. You got to wait. There's no good options. But I'm told even if they do that in the ACC and all the teams stay in it, but they redo the money, that's going to alter what Notre Dame's going to need to get in their next deal and maybe ask for more money guaranteed. And if they don't find a right partner, that leads to Notre Dame joining the Big Ten. So this is a lot more real for Notre Dame than I think a lot of Notre Dame fans realize. I've seen some on Twitter where it's just like, hey, sucks for you, whatever. But like, we have 1 foot out, but it's all the other sports. It's not just football. And again, I've been told this is real enough that Notre Dame brass has been meeting all last week talking about it. That's what made me do this show that I hate. Not that I hate this show. I hate this topic on this show. And the Big Ten thing and all the animus between us and most of those fan bases, all the way back to Fielding Yost being an anti-Catholic, anti-immigrant bigot, blocking Notre Dame out, telling all the other Big Ten schools, don't schedule Notre Dame. Don't let them play. Don't let them play you. In a way, we have Fielding to thank for a lot of what Notre Dame's become. If it wasn't for his blatant bigotry, we wouldn't have had to get on trains and go to New York and build a profile there and go all the way out to LA. In a way, you could argue that ended up making Notre Dame it stopped us from being a regional Midwest school. Okay. But I hate all of this, but it's real. So let's break this down regarding Notre Dame's independence. This is uncomfortable. I don't like it. Neither are you you're not going to like it, but you got to confront this. I feel that if you ask most Notre Dame fans their preference and you told them money isn't an issue, playoff access isn't an issue, what do you want Notre Dame to do in football? I think most folks would say stay independent. It's who we are. It's who we've been. It's been our entire history. We want to honor that, and we want to show that we can win in the modern era doing it our way, the independence route. I am an extremely traditional Notre Dame fan myself, and I love our independence. Here's where it gets hard. As much as I and most of us love independence, at what cost are you willing to pay to maintain it? That's where this all gets very real, very fast. And what I mean by that is, what should Notre Dame do if they want to stay independent, but everything around them points to joining the Big Ten for long-term viability? Meaning a good home for all the programs in a good academic conference, making sure you have guaranteed revenue that keeps all programs afloat with an extra kicker on the football program. You'd be looking at around 90 million a year, up from 22 million with NBC. So where is that line if we all want to stay independent, but everything around us practically and financially and logistically points a big arrow, bright arrow to the Big Ten? Where is that line where the Notre Dame administration says, wait a second, listen, our best path to staying financially viable is 90 million a year guaranteed by the Big Ten TV deal and a great home for all other sports, full access to the playoff without the Notre Dame tax of not being able to get a bye and all that. Like, at what point does the Notre Dame administration say, why are we making it harder for ourselves than this has to be? If that's the path we're boxed into, then what? Many feel that this move is going to happen. It's just a matter of when, sooner or later. Where is the point of no return for Notre Dame's administration looking at all this? Does it turn into something where you're almost, like I said, boxed into where you have to do this, or you're just not going to be able to be nationally competitive again, purely just because of money or anything else? Where is that line? The Big Ten is not my first choice. Being independent is my first choice. However, if we had to join a conference, then the Big Ten is my choice. If we had to do it, it's a fantastic landing spot. It hurts me to say. I hate saying it. If Notre Dame feels they're boxed in here, it would be a great landing spot. I hate saying it. I do. Number one, you'd have rivalry games damn near every week with Notre Dame in the Big Ten. Number two, the TV deal would be around 90 million guaranteed, which should end me having a stroke on the air about Notre Dame not being able to pay assistants what they're worth, or overpay to get a guy you really want. Oh my God, imagine Notre Dame doing that. Building some of the buildings. Kelly's still mad that he couldn't get built. I don't want to hear any more excuses then. But that TV deal would be around 90 million a year for football guaranteed. I already mentioned no Notre Dame playoff tax. The bye would be available wide open to you. Great home for all the other sports. Good academic fit. It all lines up. But back to my question. Independence, but at what cost? You have to stay up with the Joneses with all of this money, or you're dead. That's how it works. You got to keep up with the Joneses with that money, or you're dead and you're getting left behind. So what happens with the ACC? I don't know. How does what happened with that have to do with Notre Dame's TV negotiations they're trying to do? I don't know, but this reality is closer than ever, and I think a lot of Notre Dame fans aren't realizing that. But it's just, I love independence too. But if it gets to a point where I feel like the independence is putting a hurdle that we can't really overcome just because of money alone, nothing else, that it puts us in a spot where I don't think we could be national championship caliber anymore because of the resources we're not going to have and others are. You got a tough decision to make then. Stay firm in your independence to be true to who we are. Honor that history, but you're not going to make any new history. Or get modern and make a move, be caught up with the money, never have to worry about that again. And we go into the new playoff era and everything's going to look different anyways. I don't know, but that's the question. As much as I value our independence historically, I also value Notre Dame being in a position to add a trophy to the case. We're living now. It isn't over. That's the tough part. Where is that line to where you feel like if we keep doing this, Yeah, you could be true to who you are, but you're not winning anything else to put in a trophy case. Where is that line? Where do you think it is? More importantly, where does the Notre Dame administration think it is? So, and you know how it's going to go. All I hear on Twitter is, oh, Notre Dame, join the Big Ten. You're scared to join the Big Ten. You're running away, blah, blah, blah. You could never make it. You'd be a 5-loss team every year in the Big Ten. Join the Big Ten. Like everybody wants us to join the Big Ten. If Notre Dame joined the Big Ten, all those same people are going to come to me and go, see, you guys are losers. You're admitting you couldn't do it your way. Like, you're never going to win this with these other fan bases. That's how it's going to go. They're going to say, join the Big Ten. We want you to be good for everybody. Right when we do, they're going to go, oh, there's proof you couldn't do it your way and you folded. You guys are less than. That's going to be the reality from the fan angle. It's going to be as two-sided and as disingenuous as can be. So I want to know what you guys think, but I was surprised that people reach out to me and say, John, this is a lot more real than I think anybody realized it. You better give some time to this because it's a big thing on the table. But I want you to think about the teeter-totter here. Where is that line that you cross to where this just isn't going to work unless you're in this conference? I don't know. I'm not in those meetings. I don't know what they have cooking with the TV deals, who's offering what, where those numbers are. But note, I hate to say it just comes down to money because it isn't just money. But that is the number one thing Notre Dame has to keep in line with, keep in pace with these other schools, or you are just not going to compete. You're dead. You're dead. You're just a dinosaur and people watch you play. But you're not winning anything else unless you can financially keep up with all these other schools and conferences. So I just wanted to throw this out there. Very uncomfortable episode. I don't like doing it, but it's important. I want you to tell me what you guys think and what Notre Dame might do. Have a good one.